Do this to get him hooked in the early stages of a relationship. Is there a guy you have your eye on? Maybe he just seems more special than the others. Whatever it is, there might be something about him. If this sounds like you, it's likely you probably want to keep him around. Good news. There are actually a few things you can do to get him hooked on you. When a man is head over heels for a woman, he'll do just about anything for her. It's almost like you'll have him in some sort of daze. At the beginning of a relationship, there are certain things a woman can do to ensure their man gets hooked for good. If you follow these few tips, you'll be sure to have a guy follow you like a puppy. Give your man some space. When you give a man space, this creates a window for desire. If he doesn't feel pressured to talk to you or obligated to spend all of his time with you, he'll likely want to do both of these things more. It's also essential to have your own space, not only in the beginning of the relationship, but throughout. If your man knows he can have his own things and time to himself, he'll feel like he can have time away from you without the relationship being affected. This will make a man hooked on you. Try to be spontaneous. There's nothing more alluring than a woman who can have fun from time to time. This doesn't mean you need to change who you are or be the most fun person in the room. Being spontaneous can be as simple as not planning things as often as going with the flow. If you do this, it will show your man you have a fun side and you're willing to compromise. Show your appreciation. Who doesn't like knowing they're appreciated? Everyone likes to feel appreciated every now and then, including men. If you're someone who can show when you appreciate the things someone does, it will go a long way. Let him help you. Although being independent is an attractive quality to possess, it is good to accept help from others from time to time. When you're at the beginning of a relationship with a man, make sure you make him feel like you need him for certain things. When you do this, it makes him feel like he can help you out with the things which make him feel more manly. Don't invest in the relationship too soon. In the early stages of a relationship, it can be easy to want to move faster than you should. For example, you might find yourself wanting to share things about yourself or take things to the next level. While this is completely normal, you should be careful to pace yourself. It can be unhealthy to move too quickly in a relationship. You don't want to scare the guy away by moving too quickly. And if you wait to reveal things about yourself, this will make it that much more valuable. Respect yourself. If you're a woman who values herself and has a good relationship with herself, this is a very magnetic quality to men. By valuing yourself, you set a standard for yourself and those around you. You not only show others how to treat you, but you show how to treat yourself. This allows a man to see how to treat you as well. As a respectable woman, you should be caring for yourself and looking out for yourself. By doing this, your confidence will be coming from within, and men will know that you don't necessarily need a man because you're a responsible woman all on your own. Talk to one another. In the early dating phases, one of the most exciting things to do is picking each other's brains. When talking to your man, make it a point to discuss topics that are important to you. For example, you could talk about life in general or any aspiration the two of you have, or you might talk about something you're passionate about. Whatever the topic, the discussion should be intimate and honest. This will have a man feeling closer to you and completely engaged in you during the moment. Don't be too clingy. The less you show a guy you like him, the better. If you actually ignore the man you like a little bit, this will make him want you even more. If you're too clingy or needy, this could be a huge turnoff to a man, as it could appear that you have low self-worth or maybe depend on him too much. Be playful. If you're playful with a man, this will show him that you can loosen up and have a good time. You'll be open to joking with him and laughing together, and this will make a man wanting more of you for sure. Share your vulnerabilities with him. If you're able to let your guard down and share more personal things with a man, this is a great way to have him googly-eyed over you. He will feel like you're able to open up with him, and it will make him feel good. Don't be afraid of conflicts. Every relationship has rocky roads and conflicts it must face. When this happens, don't turn to fear and run away from the problems. Instead, confront them head-on with confidence and the fact that two of you are a team. If you do this, a guy is for sure to be hooked on you, as he sees your trust in the relationship can withstand any storm. Don't make his friends your friends. In this area of life, it's better to keep things separate. The two of you should have friends of your own and life outside of your relationship. If you have friends of your own, instead of making his friends your own, then he'll be much more likely to be wooed by you. Cook food for him. Sometimes, the best way to a man's heart is through his stomach. If you can find out what his favorite meal is and whip it up for him, you've just won him over for life. There's nothing sexier than a woman who knows how to cook and enjoys doing it for a guy. Get dressed up. If you make a little extra effort in getting dressed up for a man, he likely won't go unnoticed. He'll notice the effort you've put in and see it as charming. He'll also see you as even more attractive than usual, which will have him addicted to you. Communicate with him. If the two of you can communicate openly and honestly, this allows the relationship to breathe and creates a safe space within the dynamic. For example, if your man feels he can communicate with you about anything, you can be certain there's a solid foundation there. This is very likely to have him hooked on you. Always smell good. This is something that requires little effort, but goes a long way. If you're always smelling good around your man, he'll find this attractive and be even more hooked on you. He might even think about your smell throughout the day, or miss the scent of your smell when you're gone. If he does this, he's definitely hooked. Be your authentic self. If you want to get a guy hooked on you, chances are you'll want him to be hooked on the real you. He can't be attracted to the real you if you never allow it to surface. For example, if you're too worried about making an impression that you change who you are to fit social settings, or the idea of what you think he wants, then he'll never get to know the real you. By being your authentic self, he'll get hooked on you for who you are as a person, not anything you do to please him. Keep flirting with him. Even if your relationship progresses, it's important to keep the romance alive and never stop flirting. When you do this, you keep the relationship entertaining and it never loses its spark. This is certain to have any men hooked on you for the long run. Drop the playing hard to get. While the chase is fun at the very beginning of a relationship, it does get old. As a relationship progresses, a man wants to know he's gotten you and can have access to you in ways other men don't. For instance, you might play hard to get while he's just getting to know you, but then only tease him instead of playing hard to get. This will keep the relationship dynamic playful by teasing, but he'll know he has you a little more than before. He'll definitely be hooked. Don't drag fights on. Fights are a given in relationships. There's no avoiding them either. If you do fight though, the two of you can work toward a solution together. If no solution is found but you've given your best efforts, it's best just to move on from it. Don't let yourself linger on something that happened in a fight at the beginning of the relationship like it happened just the other day. This will make him feel like you're holding something over his head. Instead, just work for a solution and let it go. He'll be that much more hooked on you when he sees you can maturely work through a fight with him. Spice things up. It's important to keep the spark alive in a relationship, and the more you do this, the more hooked your man will be. This can be done by simply creating engaging and meaningful moments of conversation with him, or planning something special for the two of you to do. Or you could even do a bunch of little sweet things like leaving him encouraging notes to find or buying his favorite candy. If you make an effort to spice things up, your man is bound to be hooked on you. Have other obligations. In order to make a man hooked on you, he has to know that he isn't the only important thing in your life. For example, you might show him that you have other obligations by spending time with your friends, sometimes overseeing him. This will keep him interested and hooked on you for certain. As you can see, there are a lot of little actions you can do to get a man to be hooked on you. Although these things might seem a bit intimidating, they're actually a lot easier than you think. Give them a try and watch how quickly your man gets hooked on you.